Not sleeping enough also causes you to gain weight. When you don't sleep enough, you have an appetite to eat more and you feel full less. What does that mean? Well, there are two hormones in your body or chemical messengers that tell you when you are hungry and when to seek out food, and one of them tells you when you're full to stop eating. When you don't sleep enough, your body produces less leptin, which leads you to feel full and increases the production of ghrelin, which makes you hungry. So what happens? We have the desire to eat more and we don't have the same urge to stop eating. Another thing that researchers found was an increase in endocannabinoids. Have you ever heard of the munchies when people smoke marijuana? That's the same thing that happens when you don't sleep enough. Your body produces endocannabinoids, which make you find more pleasure from eating certain unhealthy foods. Also, not sleeping enough causes cells to become insulin resistant and blocks the insulin release, which leads to diabetes. What about those people that say, well, if I'm not sleeping, I'm going to be more active? Researchers have found that to be wrong. When you don't sleep enough, this affects how much energy you have. And since you have less energy, you're not going to be as active and you're going to have less energy to exercise. Also, not sleeping enough, as we talked about earlier regarding endocannabinoids, increases cravings for sweet and unhealthy foods. When researchers deprived one group of sleep and gave another group a full 8 hours of sleep, they found that the deprived group showed more pleasure receptors lighting up in their brain with response to unhealthy, fatty, and sugary foods. So when you don't sleep enough, this increases the likelihood that the primal brain structures in our brain, which are primed to want unhealthy, short-term survival type foods, are gonna dominate. Another thing that happens is when you don't sleep enough, cortisol, the hormone involved in stress, circulates more and it causes bad bacteria to dominate your microbiome. Now this will wreak havoc on your immune system, on your digestion, on many other important functions in your body. Sleep loss also causes obesity. In a study of young children, those that slept 10 hours or less had a 45% increase in being obese by age 7 than those who got 12 hours per night. Of course, this is in very young children, but when a sleep experiment was done on young adults, those that slept 5 to 6 hours a night of sleep ate 300 more calories per day. When those 300 calories are spread out over a year, it equals 10 to 15 pounds per year. A huge difference. In just 5 years, that could be 60 to 80 pounds. When you don't sleep enough, it also makes the type of weight loss that you have more towards muscle and less towards fat. When researchers, one group that slept 8.5 hours and one group that slept 5.5 hours and restricted both groups' calories, those that slept 5.5 hours, 70% of the mass that they lost was from lean body mass. And those that slept 8.5 hours, 50 or more percent was lost from fat. What does this mean? When you sleep enough, your body will target fat. But when you're not sleeping enough, your body will use muscle as fuel. So if you want to be healthy and be lean and beautiful, think about sleeping. This chapter, we talked about how sleep loss causes you to gain weight through increasing your appetite. It also causes you, the type of weight you lose comes more from fat. And the third thing we learned, that you're going to end up eating more calories if you're not sleeping. So if you want to lose weight, you want to look healthy, the first thing you should be doing is sleeping the right way. This is Gam, and this is a video about why sleep is so important.